Well, guys, I thoroughly expect this bike to be trash because I just put that oil that I drained out last night into a container, just see how much was in it, and it's less than a quart. So we have, you can't really see that too well, can you? A little over 0.5 liter. So a little over 0.5 liter, which is half a liter. And the bike's capacity is 2.9 without the filter removed, which I did remove. So 3.1. So I ran it for 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes. And then it got real hot and blew out this cover. So if anybody knows what that cover's called, I'd like to find it. I just walked down the road to see if I can find it, but that puppy probably flew across the world. And hopefully I find it someday. I would love to have it back, but all in all, I think I just trashed my engine. So that's that. Let's get to work. So let's tell a little story about how I may have really effed up here. Or the bike gave out. I don't know. So if you watched my last video, you saw this thing spurt and the cap blew off. I don't even know where that is. Didn't even try to look for it. Must be out on the road somewhere. But she was smoking and blowing up from there. And I don't even know what this is called. So I don't even know how to source a cap. Not that I need to, because I think what's happening now is I'm getting milkshake out of the engine. Which means we may have just blown the head gasket or something. So took this for a test ride. It wasn't shifting right. By the time I got home, she was bursting out. And we might actually have a head gasket blown. So I don't know. I never changed the oil. I took for granted the fact that there was oil in this thing from the story that the previous owner told me about. So this may have just blown up. And I don't know that I feel like doing a head gasket repair on it. Probably wouldn't be that big a deal. But I'm looking at the engine now. And I don't know. I've never ripped apart a V-twin. Never ripped apart a 1600 Kawasaki Vulcan. But this might be what we're dealing with. Because that does not look like full oil. So, let me get this draining. And if there's no oil in this thing, that's my bad. And I guess we have a parts bike as originally intended. We do have a title, and I thought we were good to go. But if I just blew this thing up, it's not necessarily what we're gonna have. So, I don't know, maybe we'll do an oil change. Check out that clutch. If the reason it wasn't shifting was because the clutch was too hot, yeah, that's not good. Oops. So anyway, long story short, don't be a terrible mechanic and do your due diligence. I was just chasing the problems I was told it had, and I thought I was doing what I needed to do. But moral of the story, you might blow up a very good motorcycle if you don't do the if you don't do the first things first, like check and change the oil. That's the most important thing. Check your coolant. I almost never check coolant. But in this case, if there was no oil in this, that's my bad for neglecting that. If there was no oil and it got so hot that it couldn't shift and such, that could really be leading to issues. So anyway, here it is. And we're gonna end up doing an oil change regardless. Let's make this thing good again. If it's beyond repair, then I guess we'll start parting it out. But, you know, jeez. Oh boy. Well, it's definitely hot. Definitely hot oil. It doesn't, I don't know, guys. You tell me. Does it look as bad as it seems? Definitely if we blew a gasket, that's a problem, but it only happened as I was pulling in the driveway. And I got it shut off pretty quick. Doesn't mean I saved it, but who knows? All right, well, let's just document. We have a car request 95-155 in this bike. We didn't get a whole lot of oil out of here. So I'm gonna put this back in for now. Put the plug back in. Now I know there's no oil in here. Yeah, so hopefully I'll pull this out and we'll look at it. Hopefully I didn't toast this thing. Maybe it just got way too hot. But we're gonna see how much oil was in it and how much oil it should have. In order to see what oil's in here and what damage we may have done, we're gonna do basically an oil drain. Got a 17mm wrench here, fitted on the oil drain screw down here. We'll break that free, drain out what's there. Then you also have the oil filter, which is over here. You can twist that out with your hand or oil filter wrench, whatever you like to do. And then up in here, we have, see right there, where's my finger? See right there, right there. That is the strainer, so you can pull that plug out and clean out that strainer. So we'll do all these things. Here's our drain, oil drain plug, and there's a washer on there. So we'll just pop this back up in there and get out the strainer, clean that up too. Here is the cap. So there's your cap. Here's the filter. This is supposed to catch stuff as it's floating around. And then the spring keeps it all in place. And then this O-ring, which goes in on the end. And actually, does it fit on here? I don't know. Maybe it fits on here. But anyway, that was the last thing that came out of the hole up in there. So I think that, I feel like that would fit on here. And it just stuck, probably stuck to the edge. So anyway, I'll probably have to put that back on there anyway. So until now, I didn't really see any metal shavings, but this stuff must have been in the engine. So that's some junk that actually got collected in there. So we'll clean this up with a good solvent and reinstall all of this. So that's what we got in there. We're gonna put new oil in it, the proper amount. I do want to try to see what we have in the pan. Ugh. I don't think I saw any metal shavings, but I feel like we have some coolant. It's a little milky, a little bit white, but this is not enough oil, I don't think, to be running in that engine. So something might be up here. If I ran the bike without enough oil, I'm terribly sorry to myself and the bike and you guys. That is not what I planned to do, but I got so excited to take it for a test drive once I got it rebuilt, or got the clutch working. I was like, this thing's shifting, we're good. And no one ever told me that the oil was low. So that's bad, my bad. And well, here's what we got. Already drained the filter, stuck that back on for now because I don't have a new one. And I don't know. We'll see if we can save this. I doubt I'm gonna tear it down for a head gasket if that's what happened. But hopefully that's not the case. I do need to go find this cover, because when it overheated, that cover blew off. So if anybody knows what that cover is called, that fits right in there, I have looked everywhere. I can't figure out what it is. So if anybody, I didn't do all this. Somebody was in here trying to pry this off or something. I don't know what that's about. But if anybody knows what that is, let me know. I'd love to replace that cover, because I think it should be there. So I just went in here with a magnet and my finger, first of all. And we got shiny shards all over. So it goes to show you this strainer works. This was a magnet at the end. Actually, I don't know if it's a magnet. I was able to pull it out with this magnet, so maybe it's just metal. But here's where all our metal shavings are. I looked up in here and realized there's shiny parts up in there. Then I stuck my magnet in there and collected all of this. So, if these are pieces of clutch plates, we can fix that. If these are other issues, I don't know. I'm not gonna probably spend the time on it. But we're here. We're gonna clean it out. Make sure it's all clean and good to put back together. And I keep pulling metal out of here, see what I get. I think I got all the metal shavings out of the casing. It doesn't look good. So something definitely blew up here. And it's probably clutch related, as the previous owner was told. Needed a new clutch. And that's probably true. So I guess we'll be ripping into that and looking at that. I don't know how much we're gonna do for this thing. And then when it was in the shop, they probably drained the oil to check the condition of this and found this, and never refilled it for the guy. And that was my bad for riding it like that. So we may have deeper issues now that I did that. But I'm gonna put this back together. Everybody's cleaned up, and we'll look at the clutch pack in a minute. So I think that's it for today. Never like to see metal shavings in your oil, and you definitely don't want to see coolant in your oil. Yeah, that seal fits on there. That was just hanging out there for the moment. So here we go. We're gonna put this back together, and this may be a parts bike after all. We'll see. I don't know. But anyway, it's fun while it lasted, right? Catch you guys on the next one.